guys started attacking, they stick making after you. How important was that first period, and then kind of find that momentum in the second where things finally got going?
Yeah, it's the game was tight, especially in the first. There was we had a good start, lots of chances, lots zone time. They came up too with good chances, so it was tight game. And we play our game, we stick with our structure, and we were able to score.
What is it about this team that in these moments, I mean, you guys are just, Matt this morning said you guys are built for this kind of game, a Game 7. What does it say about this team that you have that ability to overcome whatever comes your way?
Yeah, the guys are the guys unbelievable. So we overcome two always deficit in the games in series. So it takes lots of character. The guys, everybody pulls the rope at the same direction. It's fun to be part of it for sure.
And a couple breakaways in the first period. Just what did you see on those? And just when you see a player coming at you on breakaways, what's going through your mind?
Yeah, it's again, you just you play and you stick with your game. You see what coming and trying to give yourself best chance to stop it. So it's a big moments. But again, I thought the guys didn't give up much. It was a great tight defensive game. So I give credit to the opponent team too. They gave us a good challenge all over. Like 7-game series. It was tight. It was fun hockey. It was tough hockey. And they brought their best, and I give them credit.
Sergei, as a goalie, when your group is down in the other team's end for as often as you guys were in the first and the second early on in those periods, when you do get a chance that comes your way like you did, what do you rely on as a goalie to stay sharp in those moments and make sure that you find a way to come up with this?
Yeah, I try not to think much. I just trying to be in the game and see what's coming, because they got quick forwards that hiding behind the back, of the D's. I have to be aware of that and just prepare for those moments. So it's I just staying focused, staying with the moment.
You guys have learned a lot over the last couple of years, 3 straight trips to the ECF. How different would you say mentally this team is this year than your first trip, just with all that you've been through the last couple of years?
Yeah, every trip brings different adversity. So obviously we have a great group of guys, experienced guys, hard-working guys. Big hard guys. It's always fun to be part of this group, and the guys just mature and experienced, and we're gonna face another good challenge. Carolina is a great team. Also play tight. It's gonna be another good challenge, good games for us, and we're excited about that.
Sergei, can I ask you what you know more about Brad Marchand now as a teammate after a couple months compared to all the years where he used to live in your crease as an opponent? What's it been like to have him?
Yeah, he's an amazing guy. He brings good energy in the locker room. He's always in a good mood. He's chirping the guys in a good way. So he's definitely he become part of our team really quick. He gets into it right away, and it's fun to play with him. Definitely, I think we're same age. I've been competing with him, against him, even when we was younger. So he's been an amazing player always. So and in Boston too, he's bring good challenge, and I'm happy to have him on our side.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly nice to get a little cushion. But I like how we kept our game right to the end. We didn't change anything. We were on our toes. Gap was tight, and that's the way we got to play.
Matt was saying this morning about how this team is built for Game 7s. How did you see that play out?
Yeah, I mean, we try to play a heavy in-your-face style. Try and wear them down. You're going to give up some looks at certain parts, and you try to defend those. And I mean, certainly Bobo made some big saves, especially early. But when the games get tighter, it's that simple game we try and play. And when the nerves are there, when the stakes are at the highest, it's easier playing that way than trying to play a skill game or trying to play any different way. So that's the way we try and play night in, night out.
Bob only gave up 4 goals over the last 4 games in this series. In the first 2 partial breakaway saves. You made of playing behind him for these years now, and how he managed to come up big in these moments, seemingly timely.
Yeah, you certainly need that, especially this time of year. You need that timely save. Like I said, we try and play that tight gap, and they've got some players over there that are going to make some plays. So They broke loose a couple times early on, and he made some big saves for us.
Speaking of which, you guys played against the Matthews line for a lot of the series. How did you guys keep them off the score sheet so effectively?
I don't know. I think it was just such a tight checking, series, especially when we were both out there. They're not cheating the game. We're not cheating the game. They played as hard as anybody out there. So it's not like much was produced out of anyone. I think we always rely on our depth. They're certainly the head of the snake, that line over there. So try and defend, make it hard on them, and like the way our depth came through.
Same as his 3 straight trips to the Eastern Conference Final. I know there's still work to do. What can you say about this run you guys have had here these last couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, if anything, we know there's a tremendous amount of work left. It certainly doesn't get easier against a team like Carolina. We've seen them year in, year out, and we've had a series against them that was as tight as any. So just in the checking the style of play. So get back ready and recover and get ready to go on Tuesday, whatever day it is.
There for about half of it. What was it like to see the goals finally come there in the second period, and especially give yourselves a cushion there?
Yeah, I mean, you always dream of playing in Game 7s, and now we had a chance to play, and it's been such a hard series, so we knew it's going to be a hard game today as well, and that we needed a good game for the win. So we were all like, we knew it's going to be hard, and we trusted we're going to get that chance, and then finally we got a couple goals and got a little momentum of that.
How much did Brad's experience help your line in a game like this? Obviously, he's been in more Game 7s than any other active player.
Yeah, I think it helps a lot. He stays calm. He knows how to motivate us, but at the same time, just I feel like probably like you guys too. It's just so fun to look at him, how he battles, how he his energy. He just talks nonstop, but like he's such a great player.
Anton, just the resiliency of the team. You guys go down 2-0 in the series, have a chance to win Game 6 at home, lose that 2-0. To bounce back the way you guys did tonight to clinch it, knowing it was winner at home. What does it say about your group?
It says a lot. It was a great team effort today. We prepared for 7 games. We knew Toronto is a great team, and they played unreal. We had to really battle every game, and we had to battle for every win. So it was tight games, and coming in here, we knew it's going to be loud and it's going to be a challenge.
You've seen Etu up close and personal for a few years now. 4 points in the Tampa game that clinched the series, 3 points tonight. Just what's it been like watching him get his moment, so to speak, so far in these playoffs?
I'm really happy for him. Obviously, we've been playing a lot together, but following him very closely over the last years, and one of my best friends. It's cool to see how he steps up when the teams kind of need him the most, and you can see he got some confidence, and he's always been a great player, and now it just comes out.
What does it do for the group's mindset going into a Game 7? So much pressure around these types of situations when you got a guy in Bobrovsky who seems to find a way to come up big time and again in these moments, and like he did in the first period with those 2 breakaways.
Yeah, we don't question Bob. He does his thing, and whatever he does, it works for him. He's our wall. He's our guy we trust, and it's always fun to play in front of him. And obviously we try to make as easy as we can for him. But today he took some huge saves for us to keep us in the game in the first.
Now that you've had Brad Marchand around for a couple months, what have you learned about him that you didn't know before he became a Panther, especially since you play with him on top of it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have had some heated battles, between the teams, and you don't really know what kind of guy he is or they are, before you become teammates. So I think it's been awesome to learn to know him. He's a great guy. He really. He has so much experience that he brings to the table. You can tell he's been a captain, and he acts like a captain. So it's been a huge part and huge add for our group.
So many of your fellow countrymen on Carolina. How much do you know some of the guys on the other side that you're going to face, and how much are you looking forward to going up against them?
Yeah, we know each other. We're friends outside the rink, but as the playoff are and the hockey is, when the game starts, you forget the friendship and you do everything you can for your team.
Next series starts in 45 hours. How do you guys basically turn the page, move on to Carolina, so quickly?
Yeah, it's been a pretty good pace the whole season, so I don't think anything's really changing at that point. We do our same things, take care of our body, recover well, but at the same time, we enjoy tonight, but then we move our thoughts to the next series.
Just talked about a lot of this, so I want to ask you a couple questions. But just obviously, this game 7, just what was the mentality going into this one? Obviously, familiar territory for you guys.
Yeah, obviously we wanted to come hard, and I think first 10 was really good for us, and we just wanted to have fun and enjoy the game.
The first period was so tight. What was it like kind of pull away there in the second period and kind of get a little bit of relief in the middle of the game?
Yeah, obviously a couple goals there obviously helps us, and just even that we just wanted to keep going and keep the pressure on, not sit back.
And obviously, it seems like your game gets better every year, but 10 points right now on the road in the playoffs, the most in the NHL. So what's it like to kind of be rewarded the way you are right now?
Yeah, I mean, our line's starting to work hard and being honest, and right now we're getting rewarded too, so it feels nice.
What does it say about this team that you guys are so resilient? These game 7s, you come up big like this, and that's 3 straight Eastern Conference Finals. Just the ability of this team in these big moments.
Yeah, I think everybody just works together. Being down 2-0 too, there's no doubt we not come back. So I think just being together and playing hard.
Sergei Bobrovsky gave up only 4 goals in the last 4 games of this series in the first period. Stopped a couple of breakaways. What's that do for the bench when you've got a guy like Bob who seems to find a way to come up big time and again in these moments?
Yeah, I mean, he's been great past 2-3 years right now, and yeah, obviously it brings a lot of energy to the bench. He making those key saves, so it's huge for us.
How big was that goal right after Domi's goal to kind of stomp out the comeback before it started in the third period for them?
Yeah, I mean, obviously huge goal. Just to get, I think we just talked not to sit back and just go for the next goal, and yeah, we got it. So that was good thing.
Obviously, still work to do, but what can you say about this run for you guys? 3 straight trips to the ECF, just kind of been the golden era of Panthers hockey right now.
Yeah, things been working out really well, and I think just the coaching staff, the players, everybody's working together and just working hard. So yeah, it's been good.
Thing for them to not be able to step up in this moment. Just what about your team has the ability to step up in moments like this?
I think Game 7s are players' games, right? We're at game 94 this year. There's not much coaching. We've been doing it for 93 games coming in. There's nothing new. There's no tactics. None of you are going to listen to me on this, but I would caution you from applying or assigning you guys are going to do it anyway. Those games are so tight. The emotion, the build up to the games, right? Like when we score the first goal, we own the first 10 minutes of the first period. They own the second 10 minutes. That's it. Both teams were. If you flip it, you'd say, "Oh, they came out right." We came out right. They found the answer to come back at us. That's the truth, right? We scored a goal, and then we got those 2, and it's just a puck to the net. It's not. It's so much closer than you think, but you're going to kill these guys, and they don't deserve it. That's 7 games, and we played well. I didn't like our first period in game 1. We played well in the 2 losses. We played well in game 6 and got beat. That's how tight it is. So that's how I feel about it. I mean, the margin for error is small, right? Before the puck drop tonight, there were 5 teams in the NHL left. 5. All of them capable of winning. Puck went our way tonight, that's it.
That being said, Matthew Tkachuk said earlier today, this team is built for Game 7s. How is that? And how do you create a team that is built for these situations? If
the core foundation of your game is the simplest things, It doesn't matter how your hands feel. It doesn't matter how your body feels. It doesn't matter how well you execute. If it's how comfortable you are in hard situations, then you have a chance, right? But it starts in training camp for us. It's a grinder. This is a grinding season for us, not just because of the games we played. Our schedule was abusive. But that turned out to be the right adversity that we would need to play that. We talk about Game 7 in training camp. Want to play a style of game that gives us a chance to win tonight? Gave us a chance to win tonight.
Oh, Paul.
Usually you're the last question, Ken.
Yeah, I know.
You beat me down to...
Paul, did you contemplate challenging the
Yeah.
goalie interference? Because I can see why you might not, because then if you lose and they score, it's 3-1.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, Seth would have had a hat trick. So I'm wondering just what was.
Oh,
going
that
through
part I had no idea.
Yeah.
Seth, we don't care about hat tricks. Gadge had a goal tonight, though. We care about that.
But did you contemplate?
No. I've
challenging?
got like all the guys on the end of that kind of earpiece. You're watching it. In the regular season, I might have, but there is a context. I don't really consider the context in the regular season. It's just whether I think it's goalie interference or it's not. But in that, the call on the ice was goalie interference, and it was Seth's foot that propelled the stick that propelled the puck. I just didn't think we were getting the call back. If I was on the other bench, I would expect not to have that be a good goal. I think that it doesn't matter whether we argue whether the call was right. I think they made the appropriate assessment, and I didn't think we were changing that. And the number one rule in coaching is do no harm. I wasn't going to do that to our team.
Paul Etu, 4 points in the game against Tampa to clinch that series, 3 points tonight. Just what's it been like seeing a guy like him who he's giving you defensively to start doing some stuff on the offensive end and being able to maybe get his name out there a little bit, being able to produce the way that he has so far.
How many years does he have left on his contract? Yeah, he's been lucky. Oh, he's got 3 years left? Oh, he's a good player. Yeah, you guys won't like hearing this, but there's a Brad Marchand effect there. There is, and that's Lundell scored tonight, a roll off the slot hole. And he's affected those guys in such a positive way about thinking about the game and the small area plays. And felt those two young guys had it in them, but the role that I gave them stunted them. I don't want to let them do that. Every puck deep, all that stuff, on it and above it, get it deep, put the puck at the net. There's not a lot of creativity in the way that I coach, right? It's pretty simple. Brad comes in and says, hey, we can do all those things, but we can also make some plays around here, fellas. And so it starts in practice, right? They start close supporting small area plays, and there's some hands there. Lundell, I think we knew because he scored 18 as a rookie, but A2, he's got some pretty good hands. Like he missed on one in Game 6. There's a 2-on-1 that he brought the puck back on, and he was just late getting it off. But it's there for him, unless he was in his last year, in which case he's just lucky. Not yet. It's coming though.
Paul, you said before you love when Jonah's in the lineup. Obviously, he was a healthy scratch during last year's run. What did it mean to see him get in the lineup during the series and then just have a moment like he had tonight, that big goal?
Well, it's not a hunch to put him in. He's earned it. Like at the end of the season prior, the idea would, if he could get a half step quicker, he scored 46 goals in major junior. That's real. He's got some hands on him and he can shoot a puck a ton. And we just, in the role that he's in the minutes that he plays, there's a tendency to not get faster. You just don't play enough, right? So it's hard skates at the end. Anyway, he did what he needed to do. So that line, which for me was the difference in the series for us. If you're looking for an inflection point, is that line coming in? Then they scored, right? Gadge gets the tip-off nose in the one. Greersy gets one. Gadge gets a big one tonight. they have in their game our identity, the way we want to play. So, man, everybody loves the guy, right? Like he's got twins. Everybody loves Getch. He takes care of everybody. He fights for them. Those goals are the big ones.
Paul, on Brad Marchand, you traded for him 10 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Coached against him for a long time. You knew of him. What do you know now that you did not know about him?
What I didn't know was what Gregory Campbell did is his incredibly positive spirit. Guys that are vocal and intense sometimes will get up and down your bench screaming at your bench, right? They just get so wired in the game, and he never does that. It's always positive. It's always stay in there, hang in there. That was great. So good. So we get these two young, especially Lundy, young guys playing. It's bordering on legendary status at this point. And he's pumping their tires, and he's just like every day excited. It's his personality that I didn't know. He's moved into the Matthew Tkachuk, like hate them. That's a horrible word, but it's close. And then they get here and go, you're the exact opposite person that I thought you were. He's just a wonderful human being.
Paul, you've coached here. You know what it's like. When you're coaching against this team, is there a moment where you understand, or you know, or you feel like you know that you've got them?
Like never behind the bench, right? It's whatever it was, 5-1, 6-1, and it's 4:30 on the clock, and I'm running Barkov off the bench because I know the goalie's coming. We get like a 4-4. Yeah, no, that day doesn't come. What's great for the league is hard for the Toronto Maple Leafs and their players, right? The passion for the Toronto Maple Leafs, the scrutiny that these men are under is why everybody else gets paid so much. It's a driver, but there's a cost to it, and for them, there's a challenge. Yeah, you can hit one out of the park here, and then you're never buying lunch for the rest of your life, right? But there's a cost for these guys, for their families. When you lose a game like this, it's going to be rough on them, and you're going to go through a whole bunch of things that aren't wrong, but they're wrong because they lost. This is a good team. This is a much better team than we played 2 years ago. Much better. It's a much better team than we played 23 years ago in the conference final. This team is in that group of teams like ours. Like there's maybe 11 this year, then there's 8 they have a chance, and that's one of those teams. So you're going to assign a whole bunch of character flaws that just aren't true. All right then.
Have a flurry of goals in the second period. Just what did you guys see that was working for you in the first period and that allowed you to execute in the second?
I mean, early on, we had a lot of really good pressure. We were just playing very tight. With their speed and skill, we had to be above them. We did a really good job at reloading. D were very quick at closing when pucks were coming around the wall, and they were transitioning very well. So they weren't able to get a whole lot going. They did get a couple breakaways early, obviously, and Bob closed the door. And after that, we were able to tighten it back up a bit and do the job defensively. That's where that team is extremely dangerous. They create breakaways and 2-on-1s and odd man rushes out of nothing plays. And we got caught a couple times early. Bob backed us up, and then after that, we just did a great job at being above them and just kind of forcing everything up the wall and then allowed us to transition. So. We executed well.
Seth, obviously your goal huge to break it open there. Just what did that moment feel like, and just how nice was that for the team after such a tight first period to finally get that first goal?
Yeah, it felt good. I don't even know who's on the wall still. I haven't seen it, but it was a great little inside play. I was just trying to join the rush, be aggressive, and try to find an opening and put a puck to the net. It was a tight game. But trying to make a difference, offensively or defensively when I can.
Brad, it almost seems like you've become the Maple Leafs executioner with two different teams multiple times. Do do you kind of think about it that way?
Well, I appreciate that, but that, no, I don't look at it that way. I think if you look at the past, I haven't played well in Game 7s against Toronto. So, I mean, no one player wins any. I just happen to be part of, good teams that have had the upper hand. But if you actually historically look at the games, I didn't play well. It wasn't me that beat them. It was our team, and our teams have always been really deep and good. And I was fortunate enough to be a part of a really, really deep team here right now. So no, I don't look at it that way. Just sometimes that's how the dominoes fall. And in those games we get a couple good bounces, and they were on the bad end of that. I think if you look at the heat this team catches, it's actually really unfortunate. They've been working at building something really big here for a while, and they were a different brand of hockey this year. And they're getting crucified, and I don't think it's justified. Just because they're able to do it. I mean, we're a really good deep team too. And that's how things go sometimes. So, no, I don't look at it that way. It's just how things go sometimes.
Brad, often when a player has spent his entire career with a team and gets dealt right at the deadline on deadline day, in your case, it can be difficult, the adjustment and finding your stride and fitting in. It doesn't seem like it was for you. Why is that? And then how do you feel now?
It was difficult when I first got here, just because I wasn't playing, and we had a ton of games, and I wasn't skating with the team at all. So I wasn't around the group as much as you need to be to really transition into the system and into the team and the dynamics of everything. So I felt it was a little bit tough the first few weeks, but once I got playing, then, I mean, the guys are awesome. The group is incredible. We have such a fun group, and very easy to adapt off the ice and in the room. It was more just the on-ice stuff because I wasn't out there with the guys. And then, once everybody got back and we actually saw what the lines were going to be, because that was the other part of it. The last 10 games, half our lineup wasn't in the lineup, so it was tough to really see who was going to be with who. But yeah, I mean, after that, after I got back to the group, it was a very easy transition, and I felt very comfortable. The guys are, they're just there to help every day. And when you have a veteran group and guys that have been through big moments before, everyone just goes about their business. It's very easy to kind of fall into place and just do your role. And so it's a special group. I'm sure Jonesy feels the same way about coming in. You transition very well as well. So it's a special group to be a part of.
Brad, Craig Berube was just in here saying one of the main differences was between the ears, a mindset. Was there a point in this game where you guys felt you had the mental edge? And what's the difference between closing a team out mentally and maybe not rising to that occasion?
I think it's easy to have to go into games and have different mindsets. I don't know what their mindset was. I can't speak to that, but I know that our mindset, we have a ton of belief in the system that we play and the depth of our group and the experience in these moments. Going through it before, obviously you talk about it, but it's invaluable experience when you go through moments like this, and you've been through these moments before, and a lot of guys in the team have won cups, and when you win a cup and you play in some of the games that this team played in last year, these are not high pressure games. When you're playing for an actual cup and you give up a 3-game lead and then you're in Game 7, that's a high pressure game, right? So, in Game 7, the second round, it's a high pressure game, but it's not compared to some other games that guys have played. So when you actually look at that, and then when you see the pressure that Toronto faces, and everyone's talking about whatever the 20, 30-year build-up, I don't even know what it is, but you see the fans and the way they're talked, they just beat the pressure into this team, and it's got to be tough on those guys to walk to the rink every day and not feel that, because you see the way the fans treat them at the end. How do you not feel that every single day? And when you go through big games, you realize which are actually big games and which are just big moments.
To sort of build off of what Brad was just saying there, just after watching this Panthers team from a distance, seeing what they've done the last few years, what's it like to be part of this group where, like I said, the resiliency is there and it seems like nothing phases them? What's it like to be part of that, and what have you learned about this team since you got here a couple months ago?
Yeah, it's a hell of a lot better to be on this side of it than the other side. My whole career, and just when I came in, the transition was quite different. Just because it's a completely new system, and the coaches did a lot of video with me the first few weeks here. There was a lot of mistakes made. I wasn't used to being super aggressive with gaps and, that 5-man unit forecheck that we play over the ice and the man-to-man action. So that was definitely an adjustment. But like Marshy said, I'll piggyback off that. The way that the guys handle themselves every single day, every single practice day, you can feel the drive. I think it's one of the main things that surprised me was it's easy to be complacent, especially after they won a cup, and I wasn't sure how that was going to feel. But coming in, you can just feel the drive to win another one and just be better every single day. And that's individually each guy, all the way from our best players to our first liners to our fourth liners. Every guy wants to get better and learn and play for one another. So it's awesome to be a part of. The last few months have been kind of a whirlwind, clearly for me, and I just wanted to come in and play my game and play meaningful games. And I'm happy that this organization has, believed in me to do that and playing with some great players.
Brad, you guys were down 2 games, 2 goals in game 3 twice, then to overtime. Big picture, how did this series turn around in your favor?
Honestly, it turned around because we started playing the way we could. We didn't play well in the first 2 games. They were ready for us, and I think maybe we might have taken it a little bit for granted, or maybe thought it might be a little bit easier. But whatever the reason was, we were not playing in the first 2 games. Even to start the third, we didn't play the way that we needed to have success against this group. And they came out extremely hard. They pushed, much harder than I've seen them push before. Then when we actually started getting back to the system and the way this team has played for a long time, we started to feel more confident in what we were doing and how we had to play to have success. And we just started playing that brand of hockey. And when we do that, we give ourselves an opportunity to be in the game most nights. So I think it was really, we just got back to playing the aggressive, hard style that this team plays, and it's a tough game to play against. And obviously we're a deep group, we have a lot of depth, and we were able to use that.
Brad, I realize what you said about the pressure that these guys face, but a couple of years ago, when you won MVP of the Hall of Fame game, you took the trophy and you lifted it over your head and you skated around the ice here.
Good memory.
You seem to take a lot of pleasure in torturing this fan base and this team. And I'm wondering if that's the case, if you take any more pleasure in beating these guys than you do anyone else.
You never take for granted winning. Winning is the most incredible feeling. And on any night, it's not easy to win in this league. But I think the thing about Toronto is their fans are very in your face, and they're in your face, right? So they're aggressive and they let you hear it all the time, and it's just fun to interact. I think everybody that knows me, you guys have all seen, like I interact with a lot of fans, and I enjoy that part of it. We're out there, we're living a dream that a lot of us never thought would ever really become reality. And it's it's a job, and it's tough, and there's expectations, and from the media, from the players, from the staff, the ownership, the fans. But there's moments that you need to enjoy. Careers fly by, and I've been in it a long time, and I've been very fortunate, and it's almost over, right? And I can't believe how fast it's gone by. I wish I was able to enjoy more moments and actually look back and take moments that I took for granted. I wish I could have over, but you don't get that opportunity. And that's one of them. I grew up a Leafs fan, and I enjoy playing against the Leafs, and I enjoy interacting with fans. It's fun. It's not something that I'll forever get to do. And I don't take myself too seriously. I love getting made fun of. I love making fun of people. And if you can't take it, then so be it. But I can't. So I'm going to enjoy the moments that I have, and that's one of them. You know, and when I come in here and I get booed and I get that award in the game, I'm gonna show it, and you know, I'm gonna enjoy that. So yeah, it's just not about taking yourself too seriously in the game. Like, yes, we all want to win and we all want to chase a cup, but you don't always get to do that. So you got to enjoy the process and the steps and the days that you have throughout that journey.
Seth, this one's for you. When you got here, you talked about how much it meant to you to play in important games like this. I mean, for you personally, how much does it mean to not only get to the Eastern Conference Final now, but put up a pretty big performance there to help your team clinch a Game 7 there?
Yeah, I just wanted to play my game tonight and be a difference maker. You know, it's my first Game 7, and, you know, you have so many thoughts going into it. But the main thing that I kept telling myself was just be excited to play. Just play your game. Don't, you know, hold your stick too tight. Don't think about the plays too much, and just go out there and trust your skills and trust your instincts. So I try to do that tonight. Obviously, you know, when I got here, this is the moments that I not only, you know, thought I'd be in, but I'd hoped I'd be in. And you know, I have so many great players that are playing with me, and I can just go out and play hockey and not worry about too many other things. You know, my game starts defensively, and I take a lot of pride in that. And then, you know, when I feel the need to jump, I can do that as well. So I just want to try to open my game up in big moments. And, you know, I was luckily, you know, good enough tonight where that showed.
Thank you, everyone.